guys can see, they have vast experience, and this is their world. So I get to just be talent on mic while I let them figure out the rest of these things. And as you can see, they're much more calmer than me, and it's forcing me to feel like I need to be calm or I need to just be loud. So I think I'll figure out the in between. Welcome to another episode of the Podcast Trapper. I'm your host, Anna Agogo, founder of Black Pod Collective, Black Pod Festival, Adode Media, and your friendly neighborhood podcast trapper. I'm super excited today, guys. I don't know if you can tell. So this episode is really to bring you some of the people who are behind the scenes of the Podcast Trapper here at Adode Media. And so first, I'm going to kick it off to Q.
Hey, how y'all doing?
As y'all can tell, I'm the personality here.
Yeah, I don't like being in front of the camera.
So Q is clearly not used to being on mic.
Nope.
She is the team photographer, graphic designer, all things visual in that capacity. And then I'm sure you guys have heard of Matthew several times if you follow me on social, but I'll let Matthew introduce himself.
Matthew. That's it. That's all you're getting.
Wow. As you can tell, they don't want to do this. So this should be a fun episode because they're not giving me what they're supposed to do. They're not giving. So let's kind of dive on into it. I actually have some questions for you guys, so this is going to be fun because, see, they don't know that I have questions for them. So I'm going to actually just put this out there for both of you. First and foremost, Q, tell us how you kind of dived into photography and visuals and all that stuff.
Well, I'm telling my age, but when I was in elementary school, my mother, she was always wanting to have a disposable camera on her. So, you know, when you're a kid, it's just like, give me that. I would take her disposable cameras whenever it was a field trip. That was like my time to shine. Why? I don't know. But it was just like, I need to record this. I felt inherent need to capture everything around me. My friends playing tetherball, whatever it was. And then it got to, you know, a point where I was running up all her money. All the time, you know, that was an expensive, photography was an expensive endeavor back in the day, like dark rooms and all of that. That's how I started. So she was like, here, girl. The local newspaper, they had a photography workshop for kids, like 13, 14, 12-year-olds, all of that. So she was like, here, go do this. Here. They gave me a camera. They gave me some film. And I was like, this is cute. Have fun. And it was over. And I was like, that was fun. And then they were like, oh, you won a scholarship. I didn't know it was a competition. So I was like,
she said, I didn't know it was a competition.
I guess I do a good job. All right. So then I did it in high school, took photography class in high school, got in the dark room, went to college, have a photojournalism degree. And yeah, that's how I started.
I just learned something new. I didn't know that myself. Like, I knew she took nice photos and was just like, oh, okay. Hey, you want to join us over here at this wild house? Matthew, I'll kick it off to you. How did you get into video production and all the things?
Well, I started in middle school. I was doing this one project for one of my classes. So it was a video, and I had to, like, direct, film, edit, music, everything. So that kind of kicked off. And then when I was in high school, I took a marketing and advertising course, and then that got me into production. And then in college, I took social communication with emphasis in media production. You can say it in that way. And that took off from there. And then I did several short films with my friends back in Panama. And I moved over here to study just film.
So clearly everybody was achieving a lot in life as young children. If you haven't picked up on the fact, I was just a wild child. I was the child who just ran like a mad person everywhere. I was actually more into sports than anything else, like track, swim team, all of those things.
What was your favorite?
I actually like swim team better, but my hair just was not with this. Man, that chlorine, baby. Yeah. And like, I was the only black person on team, so it was always wild when the coach was like, just put the cap on, girl. This is not doing anything. This cap ain't doing a darn thing.
Yeah.
But that was mainly me. I was not living out my dreams. But you know, hey, as you guys can see, they have vast experience, and this is their world. So I get to just be talent on mic while I let them figure out the rest of these things. And as you can see, they're much more calmer than me, and it's forcing me to feel like I need to be calm or I need to just be loud. So I think I'll figure out the in between. So I'm going to ask some rapid fire questions around, and either one of you can take these. And Matthew, I'm going to force you to speak whether you want to.
That
or
means
not.
I'm going to be the only one.
No, I mean, you're doing, I'm very surprised. So rapid fire question. What's your favorite episode so far that we have recorded?
I have it, but
What was that?
I don't know. I don't remember the name.
What did I talk about?
How to make money in podcasting.
Sorry.
How to make money in podcasting. Okay, so that one just dropped. That's your favorite one so far. Why?
I don't know, like all the things you were talking about, it was kind of, I really tapped into what you were saying. So I was involved into the whole conversation when I was editing and also when I was here filming in the studio.
And now I wonder, was he not into the rest of the conversation? Because everything else I've ever said, not good. But I'll be okay. We're not going to use this as a thing against him. What's been your favorite episode so far?
I was going to say where you talked about how you got your start.
Oh, my story episode. Oh, that was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But you probably learned things about me you didn't know.
Yeah, and I feel like that's important for people to see because a lot of people, they might be in that space where they're stuck doing something and they're like feeling unfulfilled or they want to make a move, but they're scared or whatever. Like they don't know, they don't see the other side. So I thought that was good.
Yeah, because this story been wild. And I was just part of it.
Right.
Okay, so next question for you guys is, what do you dislike the most about recording days? Yeah.
You want me to start?
Yeah, what you dislike the
You know I'm gonna.
Oh God, what is he about to say? What do you dislike the most?
I don't like moving furniture. I don't like moving everything around because then we have it's a lot of things happening. So we have to move the furnitures, and we move them back because we have a recording or a booking the next day, or the next day, not back to back on that same day. So then when we're back the next day, we still have to move things around. And that's why I like this space.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is, whew, I'm like, oh, so.
Or you were looking for some positive in there.
I was like, oh, yeah. So typically, guys, this looks the same, but it's actually a different studio. So we've changed Studio C so that this way we now just like, I have a studio for my own show. Other people, of course, can book it, but at the same token, it's like, you know what? Let's just have a setup because I'm getting older. Matthew's still actually pretty young. And helping him carry that couch, each time I'd be like, oh, shit, do we really want to do this?
Couch and the table.
He's
Whenever
like,
you want
forget.
to use Studio B.
Okay.
Don't forget the table.
He's like, don't forget about Studio B when you,
Right.
We're not going to do that anymore. So now we have like, all we have to move is this one table and bring the two chairs in. Ooh, good thing his biggest pet peeve is about to be addressed because who knew that he was on the brink of like losing it? He's like, every month I'm tired of this.
I know. I don't think he was done. I think he just stopped.
I was like, was there more? Is there?
That's all for now.
For now. For now. Okay. Okay.
I'm weak.
What is your least favorite thing about recording days?
It's just like a long day, and because I'm back and forth. I'm doing the pictures, I'm doing the video, I'm doing BTS, I'm doing portraits. I'm decent at it because I do a lot of wedding photography, so that's like always a constant type of thing. No, I'm sweet snapping on audio. See, I know, like I'm not audio, but I remember enough from working at iHeart where I'm like, okay, I know better, girl. You're doing raggedy, but yeah, so that's probably it for me. But my brain works quick enough to where it's not so bad. It's just sometimes I'll be like, oh, I need a horizontal shot. Oh, I ain't got no vertical shot. Or, oh, I'm doing too much of this because I know I'm gonna hear it. Like, why is it a whole bunch of pictures of this, or why is it so lopsided? It's not giving variety. So trying to give the best variety. That's probably the most challenging thing for me.
She's correct. I would say that.
Yes.
All sound like me.
And that's fair.
I'm okay. My feelings aren't hurt or anything. My least favorite thing is how hot it is. That's honestly it. Like, it's a little warm in here, and it's like the lights, a lot of things going on back and forth. That would be my least. And then I'm hungry. Like, I'm hungry right now. I need food now. I want to eat.
They bring you some snacks.
Oh, I have wings in the fridge.
Oh, that's not a snack.
I did not finish my wings intentionally so I could eat wings today. Because the last time I was hangry, and we have like 15 videos to do today. Yeah.
It's going to be a long
Ooh,
day.
It is. Okay, so, because this is just so... Okay, what's your favorite thing about this? Because, like, we started with the pros, the cons. Let me hear some good things. Okay, what's your favorite thing about content day and everything like that?
I was going to say I learn a lot.
Wow.
This is like piggybacking off of what Matthew said about his favorite episode. I think I learned, you have quality content. And it's we're getting all of the content in a short amount of time, and we're learning the things.
Shades of a point.
Yeah. So you gotta love it. I like to learn.
Well, I like how we're able like to switch up things every content day. It's not this. It looks the same, but it's not the same. So either we find something else to do, we move the cameras around, we move the lighting around, we find another angle, or we do another approach on the same video. So we're able to get creative month to month.
So you do like when I be like, "Ooh, I have a new idea."
I just have to roll with it.
So Matthew typically acts as if he doesn't like, because like I do kind of walk in and it's like, I had a dream. Let's do this. And he's like, okay, wasn't planning for that. At this point, you should plan for it.
But I mean,
Just saying.
you bring the idea up to the table, and then we're able to like mold it to a midpoint that we both agree on. So
And yeah, that
Compromise.
is typically the hard part, because I'm
Compromise.
typically like, but I want this, and he's like, but we can't do that, Anna. And I'm like, why not? You don't want to give me what I want. Oh, oops. I think I felt that strongly. Last question. What is one thing you wish more people understood about podcasting? So I'll start with you, Matthew, because I know you're not here on the day-to-day. So Matthew is typically here on the day-to-day with clients. He does the video. So all the video content that you see on our social channels, any type of video product that you see that we put out through Adode Media is typically Matthew who's leading the charge. So what is one thing that you wish, like with seeing clients and sitting and editing, what is one thing you wish more people recognized about podcasting?
First of all, my podcasting listening experience now has been damaged a little bit, because now I look at things different, but I look at things different in a good way. So I'm able like to pick out things that are not done in the right way. So I think now I'll have a sharper ear than before when I first started here.
You're learning some things. You're learning some things. But what is something that you wish more people knew, though? Like, because here's my thing. I can always tell if you have a good podcast topic by how long it takes Matthew to edit your episode. Like, if he edits your episode quickly, your content was good. If it takes him the full 7 business days that we say,
Yeah, trying to get to the point.
I wish people knew that not everything they need to put it out on a podcast. And sometimes there's just subjects or topics that are flat, and doesn't matter how much personal experience you bring into it, it's just going to be flat all the way.
Thanks. That was going to be mine. I was going to say, everybody don't need a podcast. You know,
Everyone don't need a podcast.
Everybody create your podcast.
everybody. I mean, I'm saying if you got, it's the thing is, because a lot of people are starting podcasts, of course, these days. And it's not to say everybody doesn't need one. Maybe that everyone doesn't need to have the same one. Because I think a lot of people make podcasts on the basis of, oh, we're so funny. Somebody should hear this. We're hilarious. And it's like,
this voice that she's making to make her point is hilarious to me.
it's
Because you've turned into full-on Valley Girl. We're hilarious.
we are so funny. It's like, it's not that y'all don't have, I'm sure your conversation with you and your friends is great, you and your friends, but it's different, like Matthew said, because as somebody, we both have similar editing experience when you're trying to put together a narrative, and then, you have this and you don't have it's just y'all keep keying. It's not that y'all's conversation wasn't funny, but how do we make this interesting to other people? People need beginnings, middles, ends. Like, they need basics. You know what I mean?
They need a story.
They need something, and you're not
there.
giving them. Then it's going to be, like you said, flat. And it's going to be like, why am I listening to this? Yeah. So I don't think everybody needs it. And on the flip side, I would say that, like, the audio experience, just from when you were talking about earlier on a piece of content about how it's difficult when you're coming up and you don't have a lot of resources. When I was broke in school, I'd be in the car with the microphone. Like, if you ain't got nothing, the best thing you do, hop in your closet, hop in your car, till you get to where you need to be. Because it's beautiful in here, but we realize that there's levels, right? So that's part of it too. Don't just make stuff sound
5.
right.
Just to let you know, this is level 5.
Because that audio experience is heavy. That's important.
I agree, but honestly, the big thing for me is that I wish people were more prepared for their episodes.
Yeah.
Like, prepared, like, do something. Versus, because we recently had someone who, like, we edited it, and I remember, you know who I'm talking about too. When we edited it, and I said when he edited it, and I watched it, I was like, is this the beginning? Like,
Is that like what's going on?
and it was supposed to be to, like, promote her business and everything like that, but she never talked about the business. She never actually said what the business was. they talked about everything but the actual business. Like, but she told me the premise of this was that she wanted to like utilize it for promotional content for her business and all these things. And so I wish people like took more time to prepare, because a lot of people assume like having a studio that they can just come in and we'll help them figure it out. Not if you didn't pay for that. Like, let's be clear. And we also only help you figure out if you're full on production client. You're just booking the studio. No, we're not about to produce your whole show. That's not how this works. And I also wish people recognize that just because we are here doesn't mean that like we're just gonna do things that you didn't book. Like, that baffles me. Like, people don't book for a videographer, and then they're like, "But you're here, baby. I don't know how to use this. All I know is how to
hold this
get
camera
power.
real quick, right?
I can't help you." They're like, "Oh, I thought I could just add it on when I came."
Nah,
I don't know why you thought that. It literally at the bottom says that you can't do that.
Yeah, no.
But no, I wanted this to be a super short episode because I wanted you guys to see the people who are typically behind the cameras whenever we are recording. There are two people who work on the show that are not based here in Atlanta, and so I want to give a big shout out to Eileen, who's our audio engineer, and Ellen, who is responsible for all of the show notes, the Twitter captions, the blog posts, anything that is written. Ellen takes care of it. And so thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Is there anything you want people to know about what it's like to work for me? Ooh, yes. What is it? Tell me what you think. What is it like to work for me?
What is it like to work for Anna? She is
truthful. Say it into the camera.
Say
Let
it to
them
this
know.
camera. Okay, obviously I'm not used to being on cameras. I'm just like, She is about her business. That's the best way I can put it. And you can't do nothing but respect it.
Okay. That's not telling a lot about what it's like to work for me.
She's goofy. She's goofy and funny, just like you would see. All of that is there. But she's just about her business. She's a perfectionist. She likes things done right. And I can, and sometimes me and Matthew, we're probably like annoyed. But at the end of the day, it's your business and ain't nobody else gonna fix it for you. So again, I can't do nothing but respect it. So, from businesswoman to businesswoman, again, we here, we get each other, we have an understanding, and we keep it professional, and we get a lot done. So working for her, she's a great client. She didn't pay me to say that.
I was about to say, I was like, let me find out. Matthew, what's it like? All right.
No, it's fun working here. It's fun. It's just a different experience every day. So no day is the same. No day is ever the same. That's it. I like being here, like working here. So there we go.
Of course, he keeps it simple and to the point. She said something about being annoyed, so clearly we'll talk about that off camera. Because let me find out they're having side conversations about me. But no, that's pretty much it. I really wanted you guys to get an opportunity to meet the people behind the scenes and just kind of showcase them a little bit. I tell people all the time, the only way I'm able to do what I do is because I have a team. I do not know how to edit. I can take some photos. The editing part? Probably not. And so it's one of those things where it's important to know your strong suits. If you've listened to the episode, or if you haven't yet, listen to the episode I talk about hiring people and what it's like to build that team and what you should be looking for. Both of these people are completely the opposite of me in that I am very up here, Q is probably here, and Matthew is to the floor. And as you can see, it just works out well. So as you think of your own team, make sure that you are appreciative of the people who support you. And this is just my way of saying thank you, guys. I do appreciate you, even though Matthew's been mean to me all day today, but it's okay.
I have not.
It's a little cranky.
He has.
But you're welcome.
He's a little cranky today. Like,
hands in.
Everybody, 1, 2, 3, go team! Until next week. It did, didn't it? Until next week, you guys have a good one.